Today we're going to explore a spot which is a lot more popular than I normally visit, but which is undoubtedly a fascinating body of fresh water for investigation. Despite the beauty of this loch from above, it turns out to be an exceptionally murky experience once I get down into it. All the same, the reason I wanted to dive in here was to get a look at an intriguing resident of these waters and bring it out briefly to show some of its adaptations to life in Scotland's fresh waters.
I'm Feargus, and this isn't quite the middle of nowhere, but it's cool. Hello, and welcome to today's video, which is going to be a relatively short one. I have been wanting to come to this spot for a couple of years since I heard about it. I am today in the beautiful Caledonian pine forests, the native forests of the northern Cairngorms, and dotted around this area are various rivers, burns, and lochs and lochans, which make for some very, very interesting and very beautiful dips. So for anyone who's into wild swimming, or in my case wild snorkeling, they're a great spot to explore. And today I am going to jump into a place which is a lot less remote and more popular than I usually do, but because the pictures that I've seen of the colour and the beauty of it, as well as the fascinating wildlife, which in one particular case is something I really want to see, I wanted to take a good dive in and have a look at what lives there. So I brought my various bits with me for having a proper look, catching a few beasties and having a look at them in the tanks and getting some photographs. And I'm really looking forward to taking the dip. It's only a couple of kilometers up here, and when I get there, then it's time to get my gear on. So, not going to waste any time, especially considering there's very little wind today, and it is peak midge season, so I can't stop moving or I'm going to get devoured. So let's get up the road and get to the spot.
Well, here it is. Oh, it's quite popular, as I said. This is Lochan Uaine, the Green Lochan, which, unlike most of the other places that I tend to go in my loch snorkeling and freshwater snorkeling videos, it's surrounded by native forest. And of course, this is the way so many lochs and lochans would have been in history and prehistory, before the forests were felled or just disappeared for other reasons to do with humans. So it's not looking very clear. So it's going to be an interesting dip, different from the previous couple of videos. But because it's surrounded by native forest, it's going to have nutrients and natural ingredients in it which are missing from so many freshwater ecosystems in the country. And that has the potential for being richer in wildlife. So I'm going to have a good look around. It's probably not going to be that cold, so I can spend a while in there fishing around for beasties and see what I get. So let's go. got what I was looking for. Took a while. I'll talk to you about it in a minute once I got changed. Awesome. Hey there, duck. Okay, things have quietened down quite a bit. There's not so much of a crowd here. As it's getting on in the afternoon, I am nice and dry and relatively warm. Ooh. The pine cone just came down and whacked the ground quite hard. The loch is so cloudy. The visibility is terrible. There's not an awful lot. There's a hell of a lot less than I expected to see in terms of things swimming around. I saw almost nothing. I managed to catch a waterboat man, which is in here, and that was about it for the most part. Swimming down to the bottom, which is probably around 4 or 5 meters down, it's nothing but a muddy plain, basically, and I couldn't see anything alive down there, and again, visibility is very low. But one thing which I was expecting to see more of, and it took me a while to find one, but I knew that they were here because someone told me, is this little swimming thing. This is a leech. It's a horse leech, which is one of the largest leech species in the UK. And I noticed it when I saw its very distinctive way of swimming. Look, there it goes right now. This very distinctive snaky way of swimming, which you don't see an awful lot of other animals doing. I suppose a sidewinder snake, which you see moving around in the sand, might move in that way. But leeches have that very distinct way of going about things when you see them in the water. This leech, along with most species of leech in the UK, does not suck human blood. It's very rare that it would bite a human, and they're primarily predatory. They just search around with their mouths for something that they can get a hold of and then suck it into its insides. There was a very good sequence of leeches hunting newly metamorphosed toads in the BBC's Wild Isles series, which came out, I think, last year. Look at it swim. Magical. And that showed them hunting and eating these tiny little baby toads. They can get a lot bigger than this, but this was the only one I managed to find. And I was really delighted that I did. Bye, Leechy. It's been fun. Off he goes. That was interesting. As you can see, I get pretty excited about the little things. I was expecting to see some fish, but there could be fish in there. They're just much better at seeing me before I see them, in my experience, so they swim away before I can get close enough. But to be perfectly honest, I'm the kind of person that gets more excited about seeing a leech than a fish, usually, because it's more unusual. I like to think about the massive diversity of the tree of life that most of us don't pay much attention to. The
less obvious things and also the things that often creep people out. No major midge problems in the end. I mean, look at this. This forest is just stunning. I love these native pine forests, and I love the fact that they are coming back from the brink. You've got old, gnarly looking ones, and you've got young ones which are only about 20 years old. Can't believe I haven't come here before, to be honest, but I'll certainly come back. Anyhow, if you liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you know anybody who likes this sort of content, then why not share the video or the channel with them in general? And if you really like my videos and you're a regular watcher, why not think about making a donation or subscribing via my Patreon page to give out just a couple of quid every month, price of a cup of coffee or so, in order to support me in making them into the indefinite future. The link to that is in the description below this one. I will be back in a week or two with probably something bigger and certainly something more remote, which is more what I usually do. In fact, in the meantime, if you're new to my videos, you can go and look at some of my earlier stuff. There's a whole load of stuff there, including a whole playlist on freshwater snorkeling, which is usually a lot clearer than it was today. So, for now, enjoy what's left of the summer. I hope you're enjoying yourselves, and I will be back in a couple of weeks, as I said, with something hopefully pretty cool. Sayonara for now.